This short video will just be my reading of a 4-page document from the CIA's website on Operation Midnight Climax. So I just scroll down from Bing and I'm just going to click on it now. Here I am. From Channel 2, KTVU, 11 p.m. News, Oakland. Newsman says the Director of Central Intelligence appeared today in San Francisco and he asked the city's forgiveness for that spy agency's operation of a body house at 225C Chestnut Street during the mid-50s. Turner said that Operation Midnight Climax, wherein unsuspecting citizens were lured to this Telegraph Hill apartment for the CIA's drug experiments, were, in his words, abhorrent, but the CIA chief said he didn't know much about the operation since he hadn't spoken with the mastermind. Turner says the CIA is not involved in investigating Americans, and we also did not want to appear to be influencing Gottlieb or in any way to testify or not to testify. I have not communicated with him since these new documents became available. Newsman. Admiral Turner said there were no such operations now. He did emphasize, however, the CIA continues to be deeply interested in the international drug trade, but the CIA's mind control experiments, he said, are all past history. Channel 5, KPIX TV, 11 p.m. News, San Francisco. Opening comments regarding CIA's brothel in San Francisco were missed. Newsman. Federal Government's Bureau of Narcotics office in San Francisco, and he died 2 years ago. Today, CIA Director Stanfield Turner, the man who would first reveal the existence of the operation, appeared for a news conference here in San Francisco. Reporter Avery was there too, and he asked Turner about the apartment, about Colonel White, and about information the experiments were tape recorded by the CIA. He even asked about 4 DD4 microphones connected to 2 F301 tape recorders. Very detailed information. Turner, you've got lots more details than I do. I'm not in a position to discuss with you the names of individuals involved in this because the laws of this country quite properly prohibit my doing so. I have turned over to the Senate Select Committee on Intelligence every name, every bit of information we have available for their use in pursuing their investigation. Newsman. Today in Washington, 4 men who used to work for the CIA on Operation Midnight Climax, the Senate Intelligence Committee issued subpoenas to bring them to the hearing rooms next month. CIA Chief deplores CIA brothels by Jim Wood. A CIA operation in which private citizens were lured to a San Francisco brothel and unwittingly drugged was denounced today by the director of the CIA. The date here is Friday, August 5th, 1977. SF Examiner, page 3. Stanfield Turner said the brothel drug experiments ended some 12 years ago, and that 0 such are bordellos are being operated now. They are all past history, said Turner, who is in San Francisco for a Commonwealth Club speaking engagement. The most inexplicable part was simply that here in San Francisco and some other places in the country, in the name of understanding the potential use of drugs to be used against our people and against our intelligence activities, there were apparently tests conducted on individuals without their consent, Turner said. The director said that today that is certainly abhorrent to you and to me, and I can assure all of you that this activity is not and will not be tolerated in our intelligence systems. In Washington, meanwhile, 3 former CIA and a former CIA consultant refused to testify before a Senate inquiry into the drug and bordello operation. Turner said that the 4 had made the decision not to testify independently, and that the agency had not been in touch with the 4 since documents disclosing the operating were discovered. The 4 had been expected to appear before the Senate Health and Intelligence Committees, headed by Senator Edward Kennedy, D.M.S. When the committee's investigators were notified of the 4's refusal to testify, subpoenas were issued for the appearance September 9th. One of those subpoenaed was Dr. Sidney Gottlieb, I don't know how to pronounce that, who headed the MKUltra program, according to documents released by the CIA under the Freedom of Information Act. The program ran an elaborately decorated brothel in San Francisco under the code name Operation Midnight Climax. Documents made public by the CIA indicate private citizens were taken to the bordello by $100 prostitutes and drugged without their knowledge, usually with LSD. CIA researchers then watched through a 2-way mirror, filming what happened when the subjects went into the bedroom with the prostitutes. According to documents and testimony given to the Senate probers, the purpose of the research, Senate investigators were told, was to learn about thought control and sexual behavior. The 2 other former CIA employees identified in the subpoenas were Robert Lashbrook and Walter Pasternak. The consultant is Dr. Charles Geschichter, a highly respected former Georgetown University professor who headed the Geschichter Fund. I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce some of these names or words. For medical research. Documents obtained by the committee from the CIA indicate that the fund was used as a conduit for research money from the CIA. The committee met in closed session this morning after being notified that the 4 witnesses had refused to appear voluntarily. San Francisco Chronicle, Saturday, August 6th, 1977. Speech in San Francisco. Chief vows new course. Central Intelligence Agency Director Stansfield Turner said here yesterday the CIA has steered a new course, more in conformity with the nation's ethical norms, under a reorganization plan pushed by President Carter. He said, the nation's intelligence community is being overseen by a 3-member watchdog committee that has immediate access to Carter. Turner conceded that its new concern with moral scruples puts the CIA at a disadvantage with foreign rivals who play rough. But I would not trade our position in any way, he said. Turner discussed the agency's ethical role in a speech at the Commonwealth Club before more than 450 people. At a press conference, Turner again claimed the CIA got out of the business of running brothels a long time ago and doesn't intend to get into the trade again. Zero, he said, when asked how many whorehouses the agency is operating these days. The question came up as a result of revelations that the CIA ran a brothel in San Francisco more than a dozen years ago in the interest of science. According to documents found in CIA archives and made public Wednesday in Washington, the agency wanted to study the effects of drugs such as LSD, which were given to brothel patrons without their knowledge. I can assure all of you that this activity is not and will not be tolerated in our intelligence operations, said Turner, who added he found the practices, quote, abhorrent, end quote. That's the end of the document. And as you can see, if you're watching this video and not listening on MP3 format, there's text on the near top and bottom of each of the 4 pages that says approved for release 2004 November 1st.